Welcome to Elementary. I hope you're having a fabulous day. For those of you watching, I'm your host, Jacqueline Watson, and I'm a realtor with Sutton Group in Toronto. Today I have a couple of things I want to talk about, and we're going to start with a topic on trends. So we're going to talk about home design trends for 2024, what I'm seeing. What are you seeing out there? Are you seeing anything specific that is catching your eye that you seem to like? Or do you have your own style that you like? Hi, Mapleful Rentals. How are you? So, number one is nature-inspired design. So green, earth tones, eco-friendly. Those are some of the things that I'm noticing when it comes down to design trends. Number two is bold colors. So bold colors or bold patterns, it seems to be really trending. And people are liking it. Now, when I say bold colors, I don't mean go crazy with all your rooms and paint it crazy colors, but you can do accent pieces. That way you can always change it if the trend changes and you don't have to do this whole big reno all over again. Number three is curved furniture. I mean, it is so cute, I would say. So curved furniture seems to be quite the hit right now and very stylish. Number four is the use of mixed metals, and matte black seems to be the best. Well, not the best, but the most common right now. It seems to be trending even more than others, but I've seen like gold with matte black, or, some of just the gold finishings, the gold brass, and then the mix so that you can have like a tap that was black and gold and not just, it also depends, right? Like the contrast has to be within reason. The other thing I'm noticing is ceilings that have statement pieces. So either waffle ceilings or something done with the ceiling that's catching people's attention that people seem to like. Number six is warm minimalistic, right? Just clutter-free spaces, impactful pieces, those sort of designs. And number seven seems to be what we would call playful aesthetic. So uplifting colors, whimsical patterns, all of those things. Are you finding any of those in your search these days? Anyhow, I wanted to kind of like just talk briefly about what I'm seeing when it comes to design. The color of the year, according to what I understand it to be, the Benjamin Moore Blue Nova seems to be the color of the year. But colors and paint colors seem to be everyone has different choices. Some people have very different choices. And a lot of times, that's the one thing I tell clients, that if you walk into a house and the paint color shocks you, it's the cheapest thing you can fix. Be thankful it's just paint and nothing else. Of course, the furniture never stays, so that's always interesting. But I wanted to mention I'm having an upcoming webinar talking about design. It's not about design, but I could do another one on design, I'm sure. But I have an upcoming webinar that is going to talk about organizing and decluttering. And so you're going to see the link come out. Today's post on my site talked about it a bit, but you will see the link come out in the next little while for you to sign up, so that you can be present for that one. It's going to be great because I'm partnering with a professional organizer, and we're going to do give away she's going to do a whole webinar, and it's going to be awesome. So I would suggest that, when you see that, if you're interested, just let me know so that I can actually message you directly when I send out the link so you can sign up. So then moving on, I wanted to talk about, market trends and what we're seeing and potentially what's coming in the next little while. And I have no crystal ball and nobody does. And while everybody tries to say, oh, I think this is going to happen, we all know that, what happens is what will be, will be. We just, are, along for the ride, right? We can just read, we can see what the economists are saying, but 9 out of 10 times the economists don't get it right either. And they're just guessing too. So I think what people have to understand is what's happening right now. What's the impact on interest rates? And that's the biggest impact that is really kind of messing with the industry, right? So September 4th is the next rate announcement, and 80% of the economists are saying that there will be a possible drop in the rate. But you never know, although inflation did come in at a lower amount. So it went from 2.7 to 2.4. So that's always good news. When inflation goes down, we know that the rate announcement will probably go down. Will it be a quarter point? Will it be more? Who knows, right? The last two announcements didn't make much movement in the market, but I think there's this disconnect, right? Where sellers are, right now there's the biggest disconnect between the condo market and the freehold market. So currently the disconnect is sellers want a certain price and, they haven't actually wrapped their minds around how, for some people, this is almost unaffordable. And in addition to that, buyers want to pay only a certain price. So your home is worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So now more than ever, your home has to look, perfect on the market, right? In order for people to want to come in, it has to be welcoming. The pictures have to be on point. Your staging has to be on point, because that's the only, those are the only things that will help you get the best. Now, I think when I say get you the best price, I actually mean the best price of what someone's willing to pay for it. And if you're stuck in, pricing from a few years ago, I think your house is going to remain on the market. I'm seeing a lot on the market that people are a little disconnected on the pricing, especially in new developments, right? If all of the new homes coming on the market closes at a certain price, those are already the projected prices. So what people have to understand is the banks have to, first of all, qualify the person for a mortgage. Secondly, they have to be able to appraise the property at that amount. And if they can't appraise it, there's going to be two things. Your deal's going to fall through, or the person is going to not have enough to close. So those are some of what I'm seeing. Power of sales, those have increased. Like I'd mentioned in a couple of videos, simultaneously, I've been mentioning, power of sales have, really increased, and we are really seeing a lot of people not being able to afford that mortgage. But when your total debt ratio can only be 40%, I'm having a hard time understanding how you can't afford the mortgage, because you had to qualify at a 2% more if you didn't come with 20%, or if you're a first-time home buyer, right? So if you had to qualify at the 2% more and your total debt ratio can only be like 40% max or 30, whatever, that means like your math is not adding up. Like you should be able to afford the renewal, even if it's up in price. But I see a lot of people struggling with the renewal piece. And I think there's a number of people quite possibly have overextended themselves, where they've asked someone to help them, which is perfectly fine. Like if you asked your parents to sign for you, that's legal, but you also have to pay for the home, right? But there's different ways to deal with that. And I think before you get to the power of sale piece, you've got all this ample opportunity to work something out. And so you should really kind of sit down with someone and get a really good insight as to what you can do for your situation so that someone else doesn't force you to sell, and that you get into a situation that you have to live somewhere, right? So how do you make it work out for you? So a lot of people are talking about affordability, and sometimes I'm asking that question, what do you mean by affordability? So let me give you this example, right? So for example, you walk into, let's say, a Ford dealership. And the reason why I say Ford dealership is because the F-150s are like a hot commodity. Everybody likes these trucks, and they are expensive as hell. So you walk into a Ford dealership, they tell you, oh yeah, no worries. We can get you like a weekly lease. Not a lease, a weekly, car thing. And it's going to be, the lease is only a couple of years, but let's say you were looking to buy. They'll be like, hey, no problem. We'll help you out. You're only going to pay $356 or $375 a week. And the person then thinks, oh, wow, I can walk away with this Ford truck. And I just have to pay $375 a week or $356 a week. And I don't think you've done the math on it, right? Like $356 or $375 a week multiplied by 4 or multiplied by 52 a year is quite a bit of money a year. And you're probably going to pay for that vehicle for 8 years. So I think a lot of times that what I'm trying to say is people don't understand what they're getting into. So sometimes they go to someone and they'll say, okay, you just want to pay so much a month. Okay, we can make your mortgage work out to so much a month. But what's the catch, right? What's behind that? So all I'm saying is, be prepared, be advised of what you're getting into. But most importantly, I was actually talking to someone today who signed up on my website to get me to send them rentals, and they had a low budget, and I felt so bad for them. They were an older couple, and the guy said to me, he's like, well, I've been in this place for 24 years, and now the landlord has decided to sell the property, and I have to move. And he was looking for such a low rent. And he was not like in Toronto, but still I could not find him that rent where he was looking. There's no way. Like not for a little bungalow house with a little bit of a yard or a little driveway or whatever. I could not find that. I could not even find it for a 1-bedroom condo for them. So I had to say, I said, my heart goes out to you, but I really can't help you because unless you increase your budget, I don't know what else I can tell you. So of course, I think there's that reality that you have to live somewhere. And if you can make it work and not have to face these sort of dilemmas, either by, investing early, or finding different ways. I have some of my older couples, actually, doing multi-generational living. So they're going back to finding a way that they can actually live together in one house and finding different, areas. So you're living with family as opposed to living with, unlike, having to rent out your basement to a stranger or someone who doesn't pay. The other way I've been having people do it is that a couple of close friends have been coming together and saying, hey, we want to own something. We have to live somewhere, and we thought maybe we can own something. Now for those, I've been telling them, like, make sure, if you are getting to live with someone who that obviously even family is messed up sometimes, but if you're living with someone that's not family and that you're friends, make sure you have like a very good understanding as to what happens if one person wants out. How do you make those changes? How do you make those arrangements so that people don't feel like they're stuck in a situation and that they can find a way out? but there's always a good way to do, to set these up so that you can have like a limited term or a 3 to 5 year term where you do this, you buy a place together, then you sell it and probably take the proceeds from it and whatever you make and then buy another house. But when it comes down to purchasing a home right now, there are deals to be had. There are properties sitting on the market for a little longer in some areas, and there are deals to be had. Every time there's an announcement for interest rate change, I've seen homes that have been sitting on the market for months on end. I'm talking months, like 6, 7, 8 months. I don't know why they're killing the listing, but they're sitting on the market. And as soon as there's an interest rate talk, then somebody puts an offer, and then there's 2 offers on the property. But what's really strange is that when there's 2 offers on a property and the home is still available thereafter, so 2 things: either the person's overpriced and they don't want to come down, because normally when you get 2 offers, people are at least being pretty aggressive in giving a price if they want that home. So it's a very interesting market, very interesting times, and we're just rolling with it. When it comes to the condo market, there's an influx of condos. And so if a condo is what you're looking for, then there's a deal to be had, because you have so much choice and you have so much to pick from. So definitely a good opportunity if you want to get into the market. I would say the first step of getting into the market is just getting pre-approved, working with a mortgage broker, trying to get yourself pre-approved so that you know what you can afford. And that way you're not disappointed or overspending or getting upset when you see stuff outside your budget. Once you start seeing stuff outside your budget and you fall in love with it, then it's hard to take your eyes off it. Like, it's hard to unsee what you've seen, right? So seeing that you have no questions for me, I hope that was helpful. The little market update was helpful, and I hope very much that you will sign up for the upcoming webinar on organizing and decluttering. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacqueline Watson. I'm a realtor with Sutton Group Tower in Toronto. And if you have a topic that you would like me to unpack further, or you have a suggestion for someone who you think would be a good fit for the show, then drop me a DM, and I'm happy to interview them live on Instagram. So thank you again for watching. Thank you for spending your dinner hour with me. We so appreciate your time. And until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.